God, and all my friends are telling me that you're like God. And I can't find somebody else like you. Because you and I never you told me that you love me, but I said it first. I keep trying to make this work.
Every summer, usually second or third week of June, we have the whole of Year 8 come together. So that in this school is 55 students.
It's like an entire working village, because that's basically, it's called the Village Project, and that's what it is. It's basically all these students making a civilization together.
This is our hut. It's a bit it's a bit wonky currently, but we can fix it. But inside, we've got all our sleeping bags and our lights.
The hut took us about 3 hours to build because you have to make a lot of walls, and you have to, each one of these knots we had to do individually.
So the village is 5 days of students and staff sleeping on site in the school. The students build their own shelters, they cook on open fires. We come together to govern the village all together.
So the philosophy behind the village is all about trusting children. It's all about giving them the space to explore who they are, work collaboratively, and create their own community. And it's also an age where it becomes a rite of passage as they move from sort of childhood into young adulthood, and it really has a powerful resonance around that.
Those levels of staff and pupils blurs, and you want it to blur so much that you are on a level as much as possible, and that's a hard thing, especially for teachers.
It's very undercooked, and I don't know what's happened to it, but it does not taste like a pancake. Oh, I'll pass that on to the chef. I think you're the chef.
It requires a shift in thinking. So one of the things that we do in the amphitheatre is that we talk about sociocratic thinking. And sociocratic thinking is exemplified by the fact that we're all sat on the same level. So we start off with a talking stick and we all say something that we felt. So everyone's kind of got their voice and they've got their part of this discussion.
Halfway through the village, I see that some huts are doing so well at keeping their space really not tidy in a neat way, but in a practical way.
Halfway through the village, I see that our cooking is getting worse.
Halfway through the village, I see that I prefer the night.
Halfway through the village, I see you guys becoming villagers.
I'd like to wish everybody happy Solstice Day. Today is the longest day of the year. Who would believe it?
Literally just completely having no cares in the world almost, and just sitting there and just doing it and literally just tuning yourself directly in. Like, it's so nice.
And then the absence of technology as well is so refreshing, because regularly there's so much like pollution of noise, and then everyone's like glued to their device. Here you feel super absorbed into your space and really in touch with everybody.
Alright, we're going to go Flynn to Dylan to Omar, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 2.
Making axe heads, and then they take the axe heads up to the bushcraft area and they whittle handles and add those on.
It creates relationship. It's a proper relationship then between you and the kids. So over the years, when they're then going through their exams, because you've shared an experience and you've built that relationship, they trust you. And that builds, so when things do get difficult later on, you then have that common frame of reference, and they understand who you are. You're not just an embodiment of authority. There's a genuine connection.
That's really nice.
Grab them. I've got a bit of stuff here.
Yep, that's good enough. Just slide it forward. Bring it off the top.
I am braiding Ethan's hair.
Hello, I'm Ethan.
I had the best idea for a song, and then I literally thought of the best lyrics ever. My friend did this. I'm just going to do some more freckles. I've made a lot of loom bands. I've got a proper stack.
It is a tomato, pepper and onion base with maybe 5 or even 6 different types of beans.
I think there are lots of different ways that the principles behind the village can come into every school. And again, it really goes back to this idea about trusting young people, giving them freedom, and then giving them support to use that freedom well. So it could be about running a radio station, it could be about producing a book. It's all about giving them autonomy and direction over what they do, rather than them being told what to do all the time and having to meet those criteria.
If we're trying to do a sort of like foie gras learning of just jamming it in them, get a computer to do that. There's no humanity. We don't need sheep in the future. We need proper thinking humans.
One of the things we have to take into account is that funding is very, very important. It is quite key to actually allowing people to be able to get the access to be able to have the ability to stretch in space. But if there was that, which we hope that happens in the future, the idea of having sort of spaces where there are, places to do cooking, like we have here now, places to have times where you can sort of do activities and games together, times to just talk. There's so many great things that if the state schools had the funding and the support, that would be wonderful. And that's the key thing, getting that support.
It would be so great if other schools did this, because it's like, for the students, it's such an incredible experience, because you learn so much from it, and it's a whole new perspective of things.
It's absolutely critical and urgent that young people are given this trust and this autonomy to develop their skills now, because otherwise, in my view, we're not preparing them well for the world to come.